Welcome to YQ Academy, SQL, Interview Questions and Answers. 1. Where are SQL Server usernames and passwords stored in SQL Server? In SQL Server, usernames and passwords are stored in the system database called master indices. SQL_login system catalog view. This view contains information about all the logins created in SQL Server, including their usernames, password hashes encrypted form, and other login-related properties. The password hashes stored in the sys. SQL_logins view are hashed and salted for security purposes, meaning the actual passwords are not stored in plain text. Instead, SQL Server uses hashing algorithms like SHA-512 to convert the passwords into irreversible hash values. This ensures that even if someone gains access to the stored password hashes, they cannot easily retrieve the original passwords. It's important to note that as a security best practice, passwords should never be stored or transmitted in plain text. SQL Server follows this best practice by storing password hashes rather than the actual passwords. When a user attempts to log in, SQL Server hashes the entered password using the same algorithm and compares it to the stored hash value for authentication. If the hashes match, the login is considered valid. Additionally, SQL Server provides system-stored procedures like sp_adlogin and sp_adduser to create logins and users respectively. These procedures handle the process of validating and storing passwords securely in the system database. 2. What is policy management? Policy management in SQL Server is a feature that allows administrators to define and enforce policies for managing and maintaining the SQL Server environment. It provides a centralized way to define and enforce rules and standards for configurations, security, and operational practices across SQL Server instances. With policy management, administrators can create policies that define certain conditions or requirements that must be met by SQL Server instances, databases, or specific objects within them. These policies can include rules related to security, performance, backup and recovery, naming conventions, data integrity, and more. Once policies are created, they can be evaluated against the targeted SQL Server instances or objects to check for compliance. The evaluation process generates a report that identifies any violations or non-compliant configurations. Administrators can then take appropriate actions to correct the issues and bring the environment back into compliance. Benefits of policy management. 1. Standardization. It helps enforce consistent configurations and practices across SQL Server instances, ensuring compliance with organizational policies and industry best practices. 2. Automation. Policies can be automatically evaluated on a scheduled basis or triggered by specific events, reducing the need for manual monitoring and enforcement. 3. Centralized management. Policies can be managed and deployed from a central location, making it easier to manage and maintain a large number of SQL Server instances. 4. Auditing and compliance. Policy evaluations and reports provide an audit trail of compliance and help demonstrate adherence to regulatory requirements. 3. What is replication and database mirroring? Replication. Replication is a feature in SQL Server that enables data from one database referred to as the publisher to be copied and distributed to one or more target databases subscribers. It allows you to create and maintain multiple copies of a database across different servers or even different locations. Replication can be used for various purposes, such as improving scalability, creating reporting or data warehousing solutions, and providing data availability for distributed applications. There are different types of replication in SQL Server, including snapshot replication. Copies the entire dataset from the publisher to the subscribers at a specific point in time. Transactional replication. Replicates individual transactions as they occur on the publisher to the subscribers, maintaining near real-time data synchronization. Merge replication. Combines changes made at both the publisher and the subscribers into a single unified dataset. Database mirroring. Database mirroring is a high-availability solution in SQL Server that provides redundancy and automatic failover capabilities for a database. It involves maintaining two copies of a database on separate servers: the principal server and the mirror server. The principal server is the active database server that handles read and write operations, while the mirror server is an exact copy of the principal that acts as a standby in case of failure. Database mirroring operates in either synchronous or asynchronous mode. In synchronous mode, the principal server waits for the mirror server to confirm the receipt of the transaction before committing it, ensuring that both servers are in sync. In asynchronous mode, the principal server commits the transaction without waiting for the mirror server's confirmation, providing a higher level of performance but with a potential for data loss in the event of a failure. If the principal server becomes unavailable, the database mirroring automatically fails over to the mirror server, promoting it to the new principal. This failover process typically happens quickly and seamlessly, minimizing downtime. 4. What are sparse columns? Sparse columns are a feature in SQL Server that allow you to optimize storage for tables that contain a large number of null values. A sparse column is a column that mostly contains null values, and it is stored in a special way that saves disk space. 5. What does top operator do? The top operator is used in SQL queries to specify the number of rows or percentage of rows to be returned from a result set. It allows you to limit the number of rows returned by a query based on a specified criteria. Syntax. Here's what you need to know about the top operator. 1. Limiting the number of rows. You can specify a specific number after the top keyword to retrieve a specific number of rows from the result set. For example, select 10 pongas asterisks from customers will return the top 10 rows from the customers table. 2. Percentage of rows. In addition to specifying a specific number of rows, you can also use the top operator with a percentage value. For example, select 50 pongas percent asterisks from orders will return approximately 50% of the rows from the orders table. 3. Or during the result set. By default, the top operator returns the first 10 rows based on the order in which they are stored in the table. However, you can also combine the top operator with the order by clause to specify the ordering of the result set before limiting the number of rows. 4. Handling ties. If there are ties in the values used for ordering, the top operator returns all tied rows. For example, if you use select 5 pongas asterisks from employees order by salary, and there are multiple employees with the same highest salary, all those employees will be included in the result. 5. Database-specific syntax. It's important to note that the syntax and behavior of the top operator may vary slightly between different database systems. For example, in Oracle, you would use the row-name keyword instead of the top operator to achieve similar functionality. This is the end of our SQL interview questions. We hope you enjoyed learning with YQ Academy. Until next time, goodbye.